Hello everybody, I'm Thomas, a new volunteer of Curba de Cultură. I come from France and now I want to show you a game of snake and ladder muscle building. The rule is very easy. You roll the die and advance the same number of squares as the number on the die. On this example is 2. Once you arrive on the square, you execute the task requested by the square. On this example, you advance of 2 boxes. The objective is to arrive as soon as possible to the end, or to arrive first if you play with several players. You can invite another member of your family for more fun. Now I explain you all the squares. In this game we have 28 squares. The green squares are the bonus. The orange squares are the abdominals exercise. The light blue squares are the legs exercise. The blue squares are the arms exercise. And finally, the red squares are the malus. The square 1 is the square for the start. The square 2 is the square where you realize the plank exercise for 30 seconds. For this exercise, it's important to the back should remain straight. I look at the floor to get my head straight. The square 3 is the square where you advance of 2 boxes. It's a bonus square. The square 4 is a square where you realize the chair against the wall. You realize this exercise 40 seconds. For this exercise, it's important to the back is on the wall and legs and knee must make a 90 degrees. The square 5 is the square where you realize 5 push-ups. The back should remain straight. The square 6 is the malus square and you go back 1 box. The square 7 is the square where you realize 30-second back plank. It's important that the back should remain straight and the knee must be 19 degrees. The square 8 is the square where you realize 20-second left and lateral plank. For this exercise, it's important that the back should remain straight. The square 9 is the same exercise, but you realize this exercise with your right hand. You stay 20 seconds. It's important that the back should remain straight. The square 10 is a bonus square. You can roll the die again. The square 11 is the square where you realize 7 squats. It's important to bend legs up to 90 degrees and the back should remain straight. The square 12 is the square where you realize 10 crunch. It's important to the head should remain straight. And I advance the bust until your hands touch your knee. The square 14 is the square where you realize 15 mountain climbers. It's important to the back should remain straight and back legs up to 90 degrees. The next square is the bonus square. It's the square 14. You have 30 seconds for the rest period for the break. On this period, you can drink. No look. The square 15 is the square where you realize 5 squat jump. It's important the back should remain straight and bend legs up to 90 degrees. The square 16 is the square where I realize 5 burpees. I show you. And I repeat 4 more. For this exercise, it's important to have the back should remain straight and bend legs up to 90 degrees. The square 17 is the malus, where you go back 2 boxes. The square 18 is the square where you realize 12 crunch lateral. For this exercise, it's important to advance the bust until your hands touch your knee. The square 19 is the square where you realize the abdominal Superman position. You stay 12 seconds in this position. My hand and my feet is on 20 centimeters than the floor, and it's important to the back should remain straight. The square 20 is the square where I realize 14 lunges. It's important to bend legs up to 90 degrees. The square 21 is the bonus square. You can advance 1 box. The square 22 is the square where you make 16 high knee. For this exercise, it's important to bend legs up to 90 degrees. The square 23 is the square where you make 16 buttock kick. The square 24 is the square where you make 16 jumping jacks. The square 25 is the malus square, and you must return to box 5 squat jump. The square 26 is the basic plank. You realize this exercise 20 seconds. It's important to the back should remain straight. I have my arms outstretched and I look at the floor to get my head straight. The square 27 is the square where you realize the elevate side plank. With my left hand, I stay 20 seconds. It's important to the back should remain straight. And finally, the square 28 is the square for the finish. Okay, let's go, it's your turn. This is the end of this video. I hope you like this video and thank you for your watching. Good luck. Salut!